everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Andy, and today we're doing something a little bit different that I have yet to do on my channel. I honestly am not 100% sure exactly what I'm going to be talking about, so what the title of this will be, who knows. I felt really guided to this morning to talk and just get on here and talk about something. I think specifically what I'm being drawn to talk about is just what's happening energetically wise as a collective, and there have just been a lot of signs and synchronicities in the past 24 hours that have been leading up to this moment that I think are just really pushing me to put a little message out there. So we're just going to get into this. So this is going to be more of a channeled reading. I do have my tarot deck here. And I might pull a card or two, but this is not going to be a tarot reading, okay? So these are channeled messages from Spirit. So I'm just going to take a couple breaths here and ask Spirit, what is it that you would like me to bring to light today? What is the message that people need to hear, that people need to understand? Okay, what else? What else? Okay. I'm trying to write this down really fast, guys. Give me 1 second. We'll start talking about this first, because it seems like there's a lot more that they're going to want to talk about it, but this very first one, we'll get into it. I just want to make sure, so. This all looks like scribbles to me, so I'm trying my best to try to understand this. Thank you, Spirit, for the messages. So, what I was shown was a heart, and the heart was green, like exactly this color. So we had like this green heart, and the green heart was kind of like, it looked like I was looking down at it, like if there was like a huge tube or cylinder, like really, really long, it's like I put my eye to look down and the heart was like all the way at the bottom. And it looked almost like this heart was like sinking almost, so kind of going down. So what I heard was, I asked what specifically about this was being shown, and I wrote down, so we can look down at my scribbles. So we have this heart, and then I heard kindness and compassion. So the message that they want to relay today is talking about kindness, compassion, and that's what we're kind of talking about. At least this first message that's coming through, because I feel like there's a lot more that they want me to talk about. And then when I asked to clarify, like what specifically, because kindness and compassion seem like a very broad, they're very broad words, I feel like. So I asked to be a little bit more specific. And what I heard was how to love others. So for whatever reason right now, what needs to be brought to light for a majority of the people that are going to be watching this is how do you love others? How do you show your love? How do you allow love into your life? How do you understand love? How do you view love? How do you feel towards love? How do you feel loved? Meaning other people, how do they make you feel loved? What makes you feel loved? And I asked again, and then they clarified. I asked them to be specific, and I heard be specific. Like be very specific about how you are loving others and how you're allowing others to love you. You have to be very specific right now. And then I asked to clarify once more, and they said how you love again. So that's really, really what they're pushing towards. We're going to talk about this. And I'm going to say that this might be the only thing we're going to talk about in this video, because I'm already getting that there's a lot more that they want me to talk about, and I'll just make separate videos for those, okay? So for today, what's being brought to light is that, is having that talk with yourself and like kind of making like a checklist, like what do I expect of love? Do I even expect anything at all? If so, what are the things that I expect? Do I expect to be treated with respect? Do I expect the other person to be loyal? Do I expect the other person to constantly shower me with their affection? Do I, etc., etc.? Does that make sense, guys? It's like Spirit really wants us right now in this period to reevaluate and even change and transform the way that we view love and how we love others and how we receive love. A lot of it I'm hearing is has to do with respect. It's respecting yourselves. And for the first time for a lot of us, and I can even say the same thing with me, this is like the first year I think that I've really gotten to a place where I really respect myself so much to the point that it's like anything that is beneath me or any person, situation, drama that I deem not good for myself, it's like because I respect myself so much, I will not allow myself to be in those situations. Because if I was, that would be disrespecting for myself to myself. It would be a disrespect to allow myself to enter or be around or engage with lower vibrational energies. And by that I mean anything that is not for my greatest good. If it does not serve me, if it does not serve a purpose in my life, I don't need it. I absolutely do not need it. And this is why I don't know why, well, this is why. I've been watching a lot of like minimalist videos and how like a day in the life of a minimalist or just people that live with minimal needs and just off of whatever basic needs that they need and they don't really get anything else. And it's really fascinating to me how, one, the way of life that is, but also the kind of people that live those kinds of life. How that their mind works. Just watching some of these videos on YouTube of other people just talking about how their life is as minimalist and what they do and how they are as a person, and just hearing and seeing that, you see that those people that have less baggage materially, which is really what it is, but it kind of clears up this like, it's like almost as they clear the material things, so do the things on the higher dimensional levels clear up as well. And the ego kind of fizzles out a bit, because I feel like a lot of those people live a happier life. They seem happier because they're not carrying around anything extra that they don't need, and they're not engaging or doing anything that's unnecessary. Okay, it's really what it is. It's just respecting yourself, because if you respect yourself, you're not going to be doing things just cause. You're not going to be doing things out of the feeling that it's necessary. You're going to doing things because you want to do it. You truly feel that what you need is not all of this extra stuff that society has made us believe that we need, because that's the truth at the end of the day, is that a majority of the things that we feel we want and need are not truly, listen to this guys, it's not truly what you really want deep down at the core. Because a lot of us think that we have to, after high school, we all gotta go to college, we all need a degree, we all have to get married by a certain age, we all have to have kids by a certain age, we all have to have kids, we all have to have families, we all have to do this. And families, I mean in the typical Americanized majority society views as man and woman, or partnership, depends on what places of America you live in right now, and a couple of kids, and that's a family. But family can be friends. Family can be anyone that you feel that you really trust and you feel like they are a part of your tribe and that you connect with and that you vibe with on a level that you don't with other people. That's who I consider family. And family, believe it or not, cannot even be biological family. Sometimes the family that you're born into that family because there are things that your soul needs to learn on its journey. And that overcoming certain things and certain obstacles and challenges that being born into a biological family that you do not get along with, that you energetically are just, you're not right for that family, it creates and presents a lot of problems growing up. And overcoming those could be a huge part of your journey in this life, or a major life lesson that maybe is absolutely necessary for you to learn. And the only way for you to learn it is to grow up in a biological family that you are either abused by, neglected, or you just are not in the right mindset as that family, and you never have been. It's crazy, and it's crazy that I'm even talking about all this. But getting back to we are still talking about It's the ways that we love, but all this, like I said, is just having to do with having the respect for yourself, having the respect for yourself to not put yourself in those situations, to leave when you feel you are not getting what you deserve, when you are being disrespected by others. Leave, because otherwise, if you stay, you are disrespecting yourself. Okay. Leave, walk away, let go, block. Do what you need to do for yourself. Don't explain shit to anyone, because at the end of the day, you don't have to explain shit to anyone. I promise you, you don't. Nothing in this life is personal. Everyone does things for their own good. Everyone does things for their own good. People cheat because they're lustful, because they want to feel good with someone else for a certain amount of time. And that's the thing, they're not even thinking about someone else's feelings. Because if you were really thinking about someone else's feelings, you wouldn't fucking cheat. And that's just one example. And I don't know why that got brought up. So maybe some of you are dealing with that kind of situation. But leave, walk away. There's no reason to stay for anything. There's no reason for you to allow your baggage to keep holding you down. Let that shit go. Let that shit go. Right now, a lot of you guys might also feel the need to upgrade and reinvent yourself. So, I feel like a lot of people right now are really wanting to change their wardrobe, their look. So a lot of you might be wanting to change your hair, the color, the cut, different style. Maybe change the clothes that you have, getting rid of your clothes and getting like a whole new different wardrobe. There is a huge change and transformational energy that's happening right now. And it's more so behind the scenes. So if you're not actually seeing a lot of change in your life, in the physical 3D world or in other people's right now, it's because, like I said, it's happening behind the scenes. And what that means is that these changes are happening on a higher dimensional level, that they're working above on an energetic level before we start to see it in the physical. Okay, the best thing that you can do right now is that you can meditate. You can try your best to connect with your higher self, with your higher state of consciousness. And by doing that, you'll be bringing and pulling more of that creative life energy, that change, transformational energy that's up there. You'll be pulling more of that in tune with your physical body. Which will then pull it and birth it through into the physical 3D world. Females are always going to have biological females. And anyone, women, period. Biological or not biological. Anyone that, whether you are a biological female or you just feel like a woman for whatever reason, if that's how you feel the soul level. I know for me, my soul definitely feels way more feminine, and I do consider myself more on a feminine energy. You guys are going to have a lot easier time doing this, because women are natural born channels. They birth souls into this world, whether you are biological or not. Like I said, if you feel that that really resonates with your soul, you are probably a really creative person. You're probably a very, very easy manifester, because you can pull in that energy from the other side and you channel it through your being, biological or not, like I said. And I'm not saying that it's going to be impossible for men. Men, you will have just a little bit harder time doing this. And the main reason too is because men are more logical thinkers by nature. Even though there are a lot of very intuitive men out there, they are going to have a little bit more hard time, I think, just struggling with the idea that there are these higher energies, and that it's almost like a lot of them will also feel that there is change happening behind the scenes, but they won't actually it's going to be harder for them to get to the realization that they need to pull that energy through and into the physical world. It will come through eventually, but it's going to be, I think, a little bit lagging for most men. And the reason why I'm saying this is that a lot of you that are dealing in love situations right now, and right now I'm talking about specifically romantic, a lot of women, biological or not, and every time I mention men, I mean not biological or not, it's whatever you feel, okay, however you identify as. Right now, a lot of women are going through this huge transformational energy, and for a lot of women, it is physical. So we're actually seeing these physical changes. So like I said, wardrobe, style, hair, maybe different makeup, maybe different attitude, whatever it is, maybe different job. There is a huge shift in transformational energy that's happening with the feminine collective, okay, with the feminine energy collective. And the reason why I'm saying that right now, you can probably notice some physical changes because, like I said, for women, it's going to be easier to pull that transformational energy through and then birth it through into the external 3D world. So those changes you'll most likely be able to see in the next coming months or so, okay? Even now, I would say for some. And then the reason why this affects relationships and romance right now, because if women are basically upgrading, the feminine energy right now is upgrading to this higher level, and the men are going to upgrade, but it might take some of them a little bit longer. It's just going to be harder. It doesn't mean that's going to be longer. I'm not going to say that. It's going to be harder for them to create it and pull that energy through into the 3D, okay? And because it's harder for some, it is going to take them a little bit longer. So if you're upgrading and your spouse or your boyfriend or your partner, whatever it is, the person you're dating, a friend even, it could even be friends, if you're kind of leveling up and you're kind of achieving a higher state of consciousness and being, and that person kind of stays where they're at right now, and they're kind of being a little bit stubborn, refusing to change, it could cause a lot of friction between the two of you, and it could even cause the end of some relationships or breaks even. I think it's important, now I'm understanding, now that I spoke about this, that I'm understanding why Spirit urged me to speak on this, is because if you're aware that this is happening energetically, you can also try to work through it and work with your partner, and learn and be patient. Because like I said, the masculine energy, the masculine collective, they will change and transform. It's just harder for them to do so right now because a lot of them are very closed off. A lot of them are being very, very stubborn. And they're not allowing that transformational energy that's up there, that's ready, it's waiting to come through. They're not allowing it to come into their lives because they're closed off. And if you're in a closed off mindset or state of being, you will not receive. How can you receive in that mindset? And that's feminine energy is a receptive, passive energy. So that is why the feminines are going to be able to pull that energy towards them and manifest it quicker and easier, because it's like the feminine energy collective right now is just like everyone is like leveling up. We're all turning into queens left and right. Not even turning, we're realizing that we're queens left and right, and that's what's happening. Once you realize that you are a queen, and a queen she sits pretty on her throne, safe and secure, knowing exactly who she is and what she wants, what she tolerates and what she does not tolerate. And as soon as you turn into that queen mindset, and that I'm sitting on the throne, what is meant for me will come for me, what doesn't, does not, and I'm not bothered by shit, everything kind of starts to upgrade and everything comes towards you. And I think the masculines are just having a very difficult time with this because of that closed off energy, and they're trying to take charge in the physical world. So a lot of the masculines right now feel this urge to change and transform, and they think they have to do it in the physical world and not internally first. So what the difference is that because the most feminines right now have done the inner work, have done the healing, the processing, the reflecting, going within, reconnecting with the self, because most of the feminine collective and energy has done that work already, now you're going to start to see physical changes in their day-to-day lives. Whereas the masculines are ignoring and avoiding going within, working with the self, healing from within, getting more connected and in tune with their selves. They're trying to make changes in the physical world. So I don't know if you've ever heard this of the mirror exercise, where if you stand in front of a mirror, so if I was standing in front of a mirror right now, this is the mirror, and I'm looking at it and I'm sad, so I'm like this, so I have no smile, I'm sad, I'm not having a good day, it sucks, I'm just like, oh, I'm so sad, I want to change something, I want to be happier, but how can I be happier? Do I go within? Do I heal the traumas that are bothering me? Do I look at what's making me upset? Do I look at what's making me sad? Oh, no, that sounds like so much work. That sounds like it's so hard. You know what? I'm gonna look at myself in the mirror. I'm not smiling. I'm trying to make myself smile. If I just kind of like smudge it like this, well, nothing's happening, but this is like my physical, I can touch this is real. I can touch the mirror, so why can't I change my smile? Why can't I stay smiling? Because it doesn't work that way. If you want to see your external truly transform and change into something else, you have to change what's on the inside. Because if I changed what's on the inside, if I went in within and I was like, hey, I feel really sad, you know, let me think about why I feel sad. Okay, I think I feel sad because someone said this about me, but why do I care? Oh, you know what? I care what they think. And because I care what they think, it affects me. I don't want it to affect me. I'm not gonna let it affect me. So the next time when someone says, I'm not gonna care because it's their opinion. Do I think that I'm what they said? They said I was ugly. Do I think that I'm ugly? Well, maybe I do, but where does that insecurity come from? It's asking questions about yourself, going within and asking those questions over and over and over again. Analyzing yourself, studying yourself as if you're like a freaking science project. Honestly, that's what I've been doing the past year. Every reaction, emotion that I have, negative or positive, I try to find out the core root of why I reacted in that way. Is it because I genuinely felt like I wanted to react that way? Is that how I genuinely felt? Or is it, did I feel or act and make myself believe that I wanted something or that I really felt something when I didn't? Because a lot of us are really heavily programmed and ingrained in our brains to act and behave and react in a certain way. And that's the ego, and that's not who you are. It's just layers. It's layers that pile on top of you, that society puts on you, layer after layer after layer after layer. And the more you deny yourself to be authentic and true to who you are, the harder it is to get out of those layers. Because it's not even as soon as you realize that, hey, I'm not being authentic. I need to be real. I need to be honest to myself and to others about who I am as a person, deep down inside. Once that realization happens, that's when the work starts. So that's just the very beginning of that fucking work. You just need to realize that hey, I'm not being real. I'm not being authentic. You know, when they said that, I said that just cause I felt like I had to say something. That's not being real. That's not being authentic to you. And what is that doing ultimately at the end of the day? You're disrespecting yourself. So think about it. It's a lot to think about it. This video might have been very, very random and all over the place. But again, the message is, how do you love others? And how do you allow others to love you? What do you tolerate? What do you not tolerate? Are you in a passive mode right now where you're just being still and secure and you're trusting that whatever is meant for you is gonna be for you and it'll all work out? And you can take that risk, you can send that text, you can reach out to that person, you can take that opportunity, you can move to another country, you can change careers to something you really are passionate about, because you can trust and just be secure in the fact that whatever is meant for you will become to you. Or are you in an aggressive state where you're trying to take action, you're trying to make things happen, you're trying to do this, and you're almost trying to be so busy that you're never going to actually deal with the one thing that is actually going to change your external and get what you want, which is going within. And as hard as and as scary as it may seem, you just have to trust. The only person you need to trust in order to do that is you have to trust yourself. And that might be a big eye-opening experience for you guys to ask that to yourself, for some of you. To ask, do I trust myself? Because I honestly feel like a lot of you feel like you don't trust yourselves. You don't trust yourselves because of what you've done to others. And I feel like there's a lot of regret and guilt coming through for a lot of you guys. Release that. That regret and guilt, that's the baggage. That's the shit that you need to let go of. Because think about it, if you let go of your guilt and all that's weighing that's heavy on your heart, you can throw it away. You don't have to deal with it. The only person that's holding on to it is you at the end of the day. So think about that, guys. Respect yourselves, love yourselves. I wish everyone like the most healing. I feel like I'm getting a little bit emotional. I feel like maybe some of that last bit really hit with some of you guys. I wish you guys all the best. I wish healing for everyone. I ask for protection for everyone. Everyone will be protected and guided. Listen to your intuition, please, guys. And again, really take note on how you're loving yourself and how you're giving love and allowing love to come into your life. Really take note, really pay attention to that, guys. I will be doing a pick a card reading for what Spirit what your spirit guides want you to focus on in the next couple months. I will do that, and that will be out hopefully by this week. Alrighty guys, take care, good luck with everything, be safe, be smart. If you know better, you should do better. Okay, so if you know, that's the way that you can move on as well. If you're guilty and holding all that heavy energy, if you made mistakes in the past, don't make the same mistake again. If you know better, you should do better, be better. Okay guys, I love you guys, take care, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.